Hey everyone! In this video, I've compiled some mind-blowing psychological facts that will really make you think. Stick around till the end because this information is truly fascinating. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my new content. Let's get started. One of the most interesting aspects of psychology is how we tend to overestimate our reactions to future events. Research shows that when we imagine positive events like winning the lottery or getting married, we think we'll be much happier than we actually are when these things happen. Similarly, when we imagine negative events like a death in the family, we often think we'll be more devastated than we actually end up being. Essentially, our emotions in the future are often less intense than we imagine them to be. Another common psychological phenomenon is our tendency to blame situations when something bad happens to us, but to blame individuals when the same thing happens to someone else. For example, if someone is late for a meeting and explains that their bus broke down, we might still feel angry at them for wasting our time, even though it was out of their control. This bias in attribution affects how we perceive and react to events in our lives. If the situation were reversed and you were the one late for the meeting, you'd likely blame the circumstances rather than yourself. You might think, "It's not my fault, the bus was late, and there was terrible traffic, it was out of my control." This tendency is common to all of us. It's just human nature. Psychologists refer to this as the fundamental attribution error, where we tend to attribute others' behavior to their character while attributing our own behavior to external factors. Another fascinating psychological phenomenon is demonstrated by this example. Look at this text and read it. The order of the letters within each word doesn't matter, as long as the first and last letters are in the correct place. You can scramble the inside letters of the words, and your brain will still be able to read the text without any issue. Next, let's talk about the paradox of choice phenomenon. Many of us believe that having numerous options is better. More choices mean a higher chance of finding something we really like, right? Surprisingly, that's not the case. Research shows that having too many choices can be overwhelming and lead to dissatisfaction. A study conducted in a grocery store's jam section illustrates this well. Initially, they displayed 24 different jam flavors, a wide selection. They monitored how many people showed interest and how many made a purchase. Then they reduced the selection to just 6 varieties and repeated the experiment. The results were surprising. The 24 jam display attracted more people initially, but few made purchases. In contrast, the 6 jam setup had fewer window shoppers but a higher conversion rate. Having numerous options may draw us in, but it can lead to decision paralysis. A limited choice, while less appealing at first, increases the likelihood of commitment. It's a curious phenomenon, isn't it? Scientists have found that, on average, people can only maintain attention for about 10 minutes at a time. Beyond that, in a meeting or presentation, listeners tend to zone out, fiddle with their hair, or engage in other distractions. Loneliness has serious health implications. Researchers suggest it can be as detrimental as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, potentially shortening one's lifespan. Many people enjoy daydreaming, but did you know the average person spends about 30% of their waking life doing it? While it may seem like a significant portion of time, frequent daydreamers often exhibit higher levels of creativity. Are you someone who loves to daydream? Or do you prefer staying grounded in reality? Here's a fascinating concept. Genetic memories, inherited from our ancestors, allow us to perform tasks and possess knowledge we've never formally learned. This supraconscious realm of primal knowledge resides deep within our brains, beyond our conscious and subconscious layers, and is a product of generations of genetic coding. Consider infants using iPads. They instinctively swipe and scroll, demonstrating the supraconscious at work, embedding innate instincts and abilities. It's intriguing, isn't it? Here's another fascinating fact. Being bilingual allows you to adopt different personalities and mindsets when speaking different languages. For instance, A native Russian speaker may notice distinct reactions, thoughts, and behaviors when conversing in English compared to their native tongue. This phenomenon is often summarized by the saying, "As many languages you know, as many times you're a human being."
Now brace yourself for this. Your most vivid memories are highly unreliable. Strong emotions can significantly distort our recollection of events. Psychologists conducted a study after 9/11, interviewing Americans immediately after the attacks. They then asked the same individuals the same questions about their activities and emotions during the event 3 years later. Surprisingly, the responses differed significantly. Memories of highly emotional events can become greatly distorted over time, leading to unreliable recollections. This is why eyewitness testimony in court is often questioned, as people can vividly remember events that never actually occurred due to the brain's ability to reshape memories. Here's a fascinating trait that distinguishes between winners and losers, and addicts from non-addicts: the ability to delay gratification and find pleasure in anticipation rather than immediate rewards. Recent studies have linked anticipatory pleasure to dopamine production, the neurotransmitter associated with satisfaction. You've probably experienced how the build-up and anticipation before an event can be more thrilling than the event itself. For example, the excitement of anticipating a hot date or scoring concert tickets can be more enjoyable than the actual experience. If you can savor that feeling of anticipation, it's a positive sign. People who derive more pleasure from looking forward to things tend to have healthier dopamine levels and are less prone to addiction and impulsive behavior. Conversely, individuals who struggle with delayed gratification are more likely to make impulsive, self-destructive choices because they can't appreciate the pleasure of anticipation. They seek instant gratification, even if it's fleeting or harmful, often due to deficits in their dopamine feedback loops. Here's another mind-bender. Despite having twice as many pain receptors as men, women have significantly higher pain tolerances. This seemingly paradoxical finding makes sense from an evolutionary standpoint. Women's higher pain thresholds are likely linked to their role in childbirth. Evolutionarily, it was crucial for females to endure the intense pain of childbirth without succumbing to it. Imagine if men had to endure childbirth. They'd likely pass out from the pain. Women's bodies are uniquely adapted to withstand the tremendous pain of childbirth. That's enough mind-bending psychology for today. Let me know in the comments which of these facts blew your mind the most. And if this video reaches 20K likes, I'll create a part 2 with even more reality-bending facts. Share this video with your friends and family to blow their minds too. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time, take care.